The Wrath of the Lich King pre-patch has just hit the TBC PTR, bringing us one step closer to launch. In today's video, I'll be covering a range of topics on the PTR. I want to see what's live and working now and what is potentially still missing. It's worth a note that if you've missed out on the Wrath beta so far, as I know Blizzard weren't overly generous with the beta keys this time around, that everybody can play the TBC PTR. You don't need special access or a key, just go to your Battle.net launcher, click on the drop down, download the public Test Realm BCC, and that's it. You can have access to the pre-patch right now. Or, well, parts of it. As it's a test realm, you can both copy characters from live servers or create character templates. These templates are level 70s with TBC level dungeon gear. This also includes DKs as well, so whatever you want to play, you can give it a go now. Just a note that as it is the pre-patch, there is no Northrend content at all, and your character is locked to level 70. But despite it being a bit more restricted, there's loads that you can check out. Also, pre-patch events such as the zombie invasion, the new bosses in Karazhan, and so on were not currently tested during this period of time. First of all, logging in, we get the Wrath of the Lich King cinematic, which is as amazing as it's ever been, before we are greeted by the social contract. I'm not sure if they've already added this into TBC, but they put it on retail not so long ago, and yeah, it's a bunch of text saying you're going to be a very nice person to everybody, which I'm sure that you will be. The next thing that I noticed on the character creation screen, which has also been a change on the Dragonfly Alpha by the way, is that we now have body type 1 or 2 instead of, well, you know, what we had before. Getting onto the game though, straight away our talent points have been reset and the new Wrath talents are all available for testing. On top of this, dual spec is also in the game. This can be activated at any class trainer throughout the world. It costs 1000 gold and will swap your talents, action bars and glyphs between one loadout and another. Similar to how it was in Wrath though, it will also drain your resources to 0 when used, as well as being unusable in combat. Currencies from old expansions such as battleground marks or badges have now been automatically moved to a tab under your character's portrait where they'll be tracked moving forwards. Mounts and pets are now also learned when you right click them and will be stored in a tab under your character info. Keep in mind this is Wrath of the Lich King though. Mounts and pets are not, repeat, are not account wide. If you have stuff you want to be on a specific character for collection purposes, make sure it's on the correct character before you learn it. Achievements were also in the game and being tracked, but I can't help as though feeling some of them were missing for me personally, such as it showing I didn't complete a bunch of classic dungeons, but hey, maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Also, in case you're wondering, achievements are not account wide either. I kind of wish they were, it's just a better system, but that's how it was in Wrath, so that's how it's being this time around. Also, there was a totally new tab on achievements just called BCC, or Burning Crusade Classic. Not sure what this tab was for, there wasn't anything listed under it, and the achievement panel already has built-in functions to track stuff from TBC, so maybe it's just a placeholder. Inscription was also available during the pre-patch from trainers within your faction's major cities, so you can start working on leveling it up and getting access to your glyphs during the pre-patch. On a side note, I believe that glyphs from later patches in Wrath of the Lich King will all be active from launch. For example, Glyph of Claw, which was added in 3.2 needing 100 inscription to train, was available when I checked, though it seems like we have all of the glyphs from the get-go. I couldn't check every glyph in the game since some of them are learned from Dalaran in Northrend or discovered, but that's how it appears as though it's going to be. Side note about professions, if you are in the PTR and you want to test a bunch of stuff, for some reason there's bookcases with every profession in the game in the Scryer's main room. I'm assuming that Aldor has one as well. I just thought I'd mention it, maybe it'll save you some time. Other new things to Shatrath is Harris Pilton sells a new bag, the Portable Hole. This is a 24 slot bag and costs 3000 gold, and you'll still find Harris in the World's End Tavern in the lower city. Moving on to mounts, cost changes by quite a lot and you can begin riding at a lower level. I just so happen to have a level 60 on the PTR with only a 60% speed mount, so first of all I went to check on my faction specific mount, which as you can see here are way cheaper, with the epic mount costing about 8 gold 50. As for training, it gave me the option to train Apprentice Riding, which I already have. You can see I'm riding a mount already. I think I was being shown it again because you can now train Apprentice at level 20, which is down from level 30 in TBC. As for Journeyman Riding, or 100% ground speed, it was only 42 gold. Overall in Wrath, you're looking at about 50 gold for epic riding and a mount in the pre-patch. So if you can hold off for a bit, then there's some gold to be saved here. And in case you're wondering, yes, you do still need to be exalted to purchase mounts from other races in Wrath. As for flying, both normal and epic flying mounts have had their baseline cost reduced by half, from 100 gold in TBC to 50 on the PTR for the rare quality flying mounts. They've also had their flight speed increase from 60% to 150%, and from 200 gold to 100 gold for the epic quality flying mounts. Training for expert riding, that's for the rare flying mounts, was also decreased from 500 gold to 250 gold. Epic flying, aka artisan, is still 5,000 gold. However, you don't want to train flying or to buy the mounts in Shadowmoon Valley anymore. There have been new trainers and vendors added to both Thrallmoor and On a Hold in Hellfire Peninsula. The riding trainer is associated with Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and the mount vendor with either On a Hold or Thrallmoor, and each of these will apply the associated racial discounts, those being friendly giving you 5% off, honoured 10% off, revered 15% off, and exalted 20% off. So here's an example character which is honoured with On a Hold, meaning I get 10% off the mounts, and revered with Stormwind, meaning I get 15% off the riding training. This takes the maximum cost of flying down from 5,000 gold training, 100 gold mount with no discounts, the 4,000 gold training, 80 gold mount with the maximum discount. The TLDR on this whole thing is, it may be cost efficient to get exalted with Orgrimmar or Stormwind to train your flying, and most importantly, don't buy stuff from the vendors in Shadowmoon Valley, always buy it from Hellfire Peninsula. The Stormwind Harbour has finally been finished and is there in all its glory, as are the new Zeppelins outside of Orgrimmar to take us to Northrend when the day comes. Training dummies were also now active in all the usual expected places, such as nearby the PvP vendors in Stormwind, the military quarter in Ironforge, or the Valley of Honor in Orgrimmar. If you want to test stuff on a dummy on the PTR though, or whilst being a lower level, as far as I know, only Ironforge and Orgrimmar have dummies that have a range of levels from 60 to 70 to 80, and then a boss dummy. It is the PTR though, so there's dummies all over the place which won't be active when the game launches, such as outside of Orgrimmar or in Shattrath. Sunwell Plateau appears to have been moved to its post-nerf state, making the raid dramatically easier. Exact number changes are a bit unclear at this point in time, but to keep it short, it's going to be a fun place to test out your class changes come pre-patch. I also went to have a look at PvP related gear to see if there had been any changes to cost or team rating requirements, and surprisingly nothing had changed at all, at least for the vendors in Nagran that is, who both sell the Season 3 and Season 4 tier and weapons. Season 3 gear still had no rating requirements and cost the same amount of arena points. Season 4 weapons still needed an arena team rating of 1850 and shoulders 2000, and again all the arena point costs were the same. I also went over to Area 52 to see if anything was different there with the honor costs on gear, and there just straight up weren't any vendors at all. So yeah, not sure what's going on there. Because there was no season active on the PTR either, I couldn't make a team or queue rank, so this feels unfinished. Blizzard have often targeted changes to PvP in the past to make gearing easier once a new season starts, like the PvE tokens for PvP gear and so on. So I'd expect an update on this to make things easier at some point down the line. They just kinda haven't done anything yet. Finally, the new Barber Shop is up and running with the ability to change your face, your accessories, body type 1 and 2, skin color, and all the other stuff that you would expect to be able to do on the character creation screen normally. Also, I found out there's a barber shop in Area 52. I had no idea that this was there. Did anybody know about this? Also, there's a randomized haircut button as well. Has that always been there? I've just never talked to this NPC before, I guess. Who knows? Either way, this is what the new UI looks like, so you can modify your character as much as you want. And those are the main points or just general things which I thought to check on initially. As mentioned earlier, PTR is open to everyone, so if there's something you want to check which is a bit more class specific, definitely load it up, hop on and see how things are working for yourself. I have a video coming up quite soon in regards to the pre-patch with what will happen in terms of limited time rewards, the Scourge invasion and so on, so look out for that soon. Other than that, as always guys, thank you all so much for watching and listening in, and I shall see you all on the next one very soon.